Hello guys, Aaron here. So this video is going to be different than the other ones. So if you have seen me for the last few months, I have made a few videos about languages, specifically alphabets and writing systems. But since around October 2020, I have been making a language called Aktunku, specifically a conlang. If you don't know what a conlang is, short for constructed language, it is basically a language created by one person and someone invented it. You might hear of some like Klingon, Esperanto, but there have been many YouTubers which have made conlangs, like Artifacting, which has made Owa as an example. So I made this conlang called Aktunku. It is very unique as it has an interesting writing system, vocabulary and sounds. First, the sounds. So Aktunku has 7 vowels and 31 consonants. It also uses the Latin alphabet plus a few more letters, which is a voiceless bilabial trill found in very few languages. Ch, which is like the C with an accent in Balkan languages like Bosnian. The, which is a voiced dental fricative like in this. Ha, which is a pharyngeal H like the Arabic letter Ha. Shla, which is a voiceless alveolar lateral fricative like in some languages like Welsh. Which is the ng in cooking. Ny, as in canyon, which appears in the Spanish language like in the letter ñ. Sh, which is like the sh in show. Th, which is like the th in thought. Sh, which is romanized as ksa. And j, which is like the s in treasure. The vowels are exactly the same, but do note that the O isn't pronounced like O, but rather like a pure O. And there is 2 more vowels, U, which is like the Turkish counterpart, and I, which is like the German U. Here's an IPA chart with only the sounds found in Aktunku. This could be very useful if you are learning the language. Next is the writing system. So the Aktunku alphabet is a very unique script. It is an abugida similar to Thai, that to add a vowel after a consonant, you put the corresponding vowel beside, over, behind, and under the consonant, depending on the vowel. Like the modified Aktunku Latin alphabet, there are 7 vowels and 31 consonants. The letters are unique in that the number of dots in the letter changes the pronunciation, just like in the Arabic alphabet. So technically you only learn 12 consonants structure-wise. The difference is the place of the dots. The first one is ye, which makes the G sound, and it looks like a hook. But if you put a dot on the end of the hook, it is kie, and if you add 3 dots on the bottom, is xie. But if you put 3 dots on the end of the hook, it becomes koye, like a Q. The next one is pie, which makes the P sound and looks like a flip P without the top. If you add another hook on the left, it becomes bie, and if you add a dot on the top, it becomes prie, the bilabial trill. The next one is die, which makes the D sound and it looks like a doorbell. If you add a dot on the bottom, it becomes die, and if you add a dot on top, it becomes thie, and if you add 3 dots on the top, it becomes thie. The next one is fie, which makes the F sound and it looks like an F, but without one of the sticks, the bottom one. But if you add a dot on top of it, it becomes rie, which is a rolled R, but it is only as a tap, like r. But you can just pronounce it as an English R if you can't roll R's. The next one is lie, which is an L sound, and it is an upside down L with a loop-de-loop. I guess that's the way to remember it. But if you add a dot on top, it becomes hlie. Next is ma, which makes the N sound and is an upside down die. If you add a dot on the top, it becomes nye, and if you add 3 dots on top, it becomes nye, like the ng in English. The next one is jia, which makes the J sound and is actually a J, but if you add a dot on the bottom, it becomes ya, a Y sound. The next one is sa, which makes the S sound, and it looks like the Cyrillic letter for the S sound, sha, or the Arabic letter for the SH sound, shin. If you add 3 dots on the top, it becomes xie, and if you add 1 dot on the top, it becomes xie, and if you put a dot on the bottom, it becomes zie. Next one is wie, which makes the W sound like in English, and it is in uppercase U, but you add a dot in the center and it becomes vie, a V. The next one is je, which makes the J sound like in measure, and it is the sa, but you add 2 horizontal dots on the bottom. The next one is hie, which makes the H sound, and it looks like an H, but without the stick. The next one is chie, which makes CH sound, and it is the ja, but you add 3 dots on top of it. The next one is nye, which makes the NY sound like in canyon, and it is exactly like the Spanish letter ñ, like the one said before. And finally, the final letter is hie, which is a pharyngeal H, how you pull the tongue back into your throat and make an H sound. And it is the hie, but you add a dot in the center. Since Aktunku is an abugida, there are 7 bowel marks, which 4 of them are brought from Thai. If you add 2 fish-like loops on the right of a letter, it has the A sound after it, like 2 fishes. If you add a semicircle on top of a letter, it adds an I sound after that consonant. If you add a loop on the bottom of a letter, it adds a U sound. If you add a line with a loop at the left, it adds an E sound, A. But if you add 2 of those loops at the left side of a letter, it adds an O sound, O. If you add a circle at the top, it adds the sound, like in lover, kind of close, but not really. But if you add the U mark, but flipped, and on top, it is like the German U. In every word in Aktunku, there is an accent mark in the Latinized script. Yeah, and so Aktunku uses 2 scripts, the Aktunku script and Latin. The Aktunku language is phonetic in that every letter represents one sound universally. English is not phonetic because one letter can represent multiple sounds, and some letters can be silent. So when you speak in Aktunku, you need to pronounce letters in the correct phonetic way. The Aktunku language does not have a lot of particles, most of the important ones, so it has very easy grammar. There are some pronouns in the language, but if you use a pronoun with something, you just attach the pronoun to the object. But between the pronoun and the object, there is a glottal stop. So, hello, my name is Aaron is Halusha. Moi nam Aaron. Moi is the pronoun my Aktunku, and nam is the name in Aktunku. So in English it would be like, hello, my name Aaron. The Aktunku language also has the singular and plural tenses and the dual tense, which describes specifically 2 objects. So mama is 1 mom, mamas is more than 2 moms, and mamaso is 2 moms. This happens in Slovene and other languages. However, note that if a word finishes with S, to make it a plural, you add an E, then an S, like in sases, which is the plural for person. The singular is sas. The numbers in the language are tran, thu, thi, vatru, chinku, suksi, sivan, oshutu, nuf, transi, and z. And to make numbers bigger than 9, you need to combine the numbers together. As an example, 390 in Aktunku is thinups, tinuvsi. You can also combine words to make different ones. The word for fire is firaga, and the word for water is atirj, and the word for temperature is firagatirj. And in some dialects of Aktunku, the Q can be replaced by a parallel click, and the P can be replaced by an alveolar click, So that was a brief explanation of the Aktunku language. You can make your own fonts for the alphabet, and I will put a list of Aktunku words in the pinned comment. Thanks for watching. Gooddash. That's the end of the video. Also subscribe and click the bell so you won't miss any videos. Also share this video to your friends so they can see it and they will subscribe to me.